this is Ms. Isha Paul, who works here as a clinical psychologist, and today we are going to be talking about relationships and insecurities. So to begin with, I'll talk a little bit about what insecurities are. So insecurity can be described as a feeling of inadequacy, feeling like you're not good enough. There's a nagging feeling that there is something lacking in us, which almost all of us feel every now and then. And it's not something unusual, but insecurities become problematic when they start affecting us, our relationships, and other spheres of our lives in a negative manner. But since today we're talking about relationships, so we'll only be focusing about insecurities that can be observed in relationships. So some signs of insecurities in relationships include constantly calling and texting your partners, and in case they don't respond at all or respond in a way that you expect them to, you start experiencing feelings of fear or panic. You start making accusations and start questioning your partner and for what their true intentions are with you. And if you engage in passive aggressive behavior, that is, if you keep picking up fights or start taunting them for no reason really, and verifying facts from other people about their whereabouts, checking social media for their whereabouts. If you constantly need validation and reassurance from your partner that they're not going anywhere, or you expect them to resolve all of your doubts and fears all the time. And if you feel like you're not good enough for your partner. So these are some common signs that can be seen in insecurity if you are being insecure. Some common causes of insecurities would include past negative experiences, be it with your caregivers or in some of your previous romantic relationships. Or there is a lack of personal life fulfillment, or because of social anxiety, or maybe you have fear of rejection, or maybe you are a perfectionist and you feel like you have self-critical thoughts, you keep blaming yourself, and you feel like if the relationship is not going perfectly right at all times, then there's something wrong with this relationship or your partner. The last one could be fragile ego, which is self-explanatory. So next we come on to the types of insecurities. So here you can have various types of insecurities, such as financial. This could sound like a financial insecurity, could sound like you being insecure because your partner earns more than you, or you feel like you are inadequate to be able to provide for you and your partner. Social, which could be maybe because of your different backgrounds, unequal social status, or maybe if your partner is more popular than you. Professional, this can happen if your partner probably is in a better position or designation in their jobs, they have a better title. Physical could be that you believe that your partner is more attractive or good looking than you are. Emotional could be that you experience feelings of distance, unavailability, or you have lack of faith, or you have constant doubts about your relationship. In attachment, we have seen that in case of insecure attachment, in case of people with insecure attachment styles, they often feel like if they're getting too close to you, they might feel like they should be leaving you before you get a chance to leave them. So even in that case, they experience these insecurities. And to continue this and to talk more about insecurities, the common types of insecurities with examples, we are going to now talk to Nisha about this.
Thank you, Vedandika, and you very nicely explained what insecurity is. It is primarily an anxiety about your own self. It may also indicate lack of self-confidence. When two people come into a relationship, they come with their own set of insecurities, which adds to the complexity of already existing, different kinds of dynamics in a relationship. So some of the common insecurities and issues that we see, particularly not only in relationships but particularly in long distance relationships, are going to be introduced by Simran and Rahul. Hi, I'm Simran. Hi, I'm Rahul. This is acha. Starting with हेलो राहुल. हेलो सिमरन. मैंने तुम्हें कल जब मैसेज किया था तो तुमने मेरे मैसेज के रिप्लाई में सिर्फ के लिखा था, नॉट ओके. वर यू मैड एट मी फॉर समथिंग? नहीं सिमरन, मे बी मैं काम में बिजी था, सो आई फॉरगॉट, और मे बी मैंने जल्दी में ये लिख दिया होगा. बट मुझे लगा कि तुम मुझ पे मैड हो, यू आर एंग्री एट मी ओवर समथिंग. I mean, I just don't understand. How long does it take to write okay? So, misunderstanding is basically misinterpreting the cues that our partner is trying to send to us, maybe over a text or maybe over a call. Because it is very difficult to have access to the facial gestures of a person and not having access to the body language of a person, it adds to the complexity of decoding the message that they are trying to send to us. So in order to avoid misunderstanding in a relationship, it is very important to clarify with your partner before you misinterpret the message that your partner is trying to send, and not basically lead it to any kind of conclusion. Another insecurity or issue that is faced in long-term relationship is that of assumptions, which is also known as jumping to conclusions. हेलो सिमरन. हेलो राहुल. क्या बात है राहुल, आज तुम आवाज़ से बहुत सैड लग रहे हो. हाँ सिमरन, इतनी दूर हूँ, फिर सारे फाइनेंशियल कंस्ट्रेंट्स हैं और बजट का भी इशू चल रहा है, समझ नहीं आ रहा है सब कुछ कैसे मैनेज करूँगा. राहुल, अगर तुम्हें प्रॉब्लम ना हो तो आई कैन हेल्प यू अ लिटिल बिट. आई मीन, I can send you some money over and हम बाद में देख लेंगे. We can settle it down later. क्या तुमने ऐसे बोल भी कैसे दिया सिमरन? माना I'm going through a difficult time. What do you think? I can't manage it all by myself? What do you think? I can't handle it by myself? तुम्हें लगता है मैं financially capable या self sufficient नहीं हूँ? How could you talk to me like that? तुमने ऐसा सोचा भी कैसे मैं तुमसे पैसे मांगूंगा? So like I said, this is called jumping to conclusion. Without understanding Simran's feeling, Rahul understands or concludes it as Simran trying to indicate to him that he can't take care of the finances by himself. So making an assumption and jumping to conclusion that what she's trying to say is basically that he's incapable and insufficient of taking care of his own finances. Next comes magical reunion. A lot of times it is seen in long distance relationships that partners get to meet and see each other after a long interval of time. When they do meet up after a long interval of time, what happens is maybe one of the party expects that the reunion is going to be full of a lot of surprises and fun. Hey Rahul, hey Simran. So how have you been? It's been a long time. हाँ सिमरन, बहुत मुश्किल से आया हूँ, बहुत सारी मीटिंग्स थी, everything was lined up, but still I had to come to pick you up. It's been months that I've seen you. चलो जल्दी चलते हैं, मुझे तुम्हें ड्रॉप करना है, and then I'll have to take off for the rest of the day, but I'll come back to you in the evening. राहुल, मैं इतने दिनों के बाद आई हूँ, तुम खाली हाथ आए हो, ना फ्लावर्स लाए हो, ना चॉकलेट्स लाए हो, और ऊपर से कह रहे हो तुम्हें मीटिंग अटेंड करने जाना है. आई मीन, व्हाट इज दिस? हाउ इनकंसिडरेट ऑफ यू. आई मीन, मैं क्या बोलूं? वेल सिमरन, इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. तुम जानती हो मेरा डेली शेड्यूल कितना बिजी रहता है. स्टिल आई मैनेज टू मेक टाइम टू कम एंड पिक यू अप फ्रॉम द एयरपोर्ट, और मैं मीटिंग्स फाइंड अप करके वापस आऊंगा. So like I said, that a lot of times couples start expecting, partners start expecting in the relationship to have a magical reunion. Their expectations go over the board, which is not in the capacity of the other person to fulfill. So when we are having an expectation, what is going to happen when we meet next, it is important to align them with your partner's daily schedules, responsibilities, capabilities, and maybe even what they can afford to do and what they cannot. Another one of the major insecurities which is faced in any relationship is jealousy. However, in case of long distance relationships, it gets triggered more frequently due to lack of access to the partner, due to lack of being able to see your partner on a regular basis. सिमरन, मैं कब से तुम्हें फोन कर रहा हूँ, तुम मेरा फोन क्यों नहीं उठा रही थी? राहुल, मैंने तुम्हें बताया था मैं मूवी देखने जा रही हूँ, तुमने मुझे कब बताया? राहुल, मैंने तुम्हें फोटो भेजी थी टिकट की, तुम भूल गए. I told you I'm going out with friends. मुझे नहीं पता तुम किन फ्रेंड्स के साथ गई थी, मुझे नहीं पता तुम कौन सी मूवी देखने गई थी, और आगे से तुम जब भी जिस भी फ्रेंड के साथ जाओगी मुझे उसका कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर दे के जाओगी. You know I start getting so worried. I mean, एटलीस्ट फोन तो उठा सकती थी. राहुल, मैं सिनेमा हॉल में तुम्हारा फोन कैसे उठाती? I don't care. So this is a common scenario that we get to see when one partner is not able to return the calls of the other partner, and of course it triggers a lot of insecurity and particularly jealousy in the other partner, especially when they're sitting alone brooding or maybe missing their partner, and they get this kind of feeling, here I am, मैं इतना उदास बैठा हूँ, मैं अकेला बैठा हूँ और वहाँ पर मेरा पार्टनर मूवी देखने गया है फ्रेंड्स के साथ. And then it may also trigger a lot of chain of thoughts, like कहीं वो किसी और के साथ तो नहीं है, कहीं वो किसी और को डेट तो नहीं कर रही है, कहीं वो चीट तो नहीं कर रही है. Then last but not the least is emotional unavailability. A lot of studies on relationships have already indicated that being able to build connection, being able to understand each other, and being able to develop and cultivate intimacy, which I've already addressed in one of our previous videos, is imperative for a successful relationship. Long distance relationships may becomes even more important to be able to emotionally validate your partner, be able to be available for your partner emotionally. हेलो राहुल. हाँ सिमरन, बोलो. आज मेरा मूड बहुत खराब है, मेरा दिन बहुत खराब गया. Oh, well, do you want to hear what I want to say? Like, मैं बताऊँ तुम्हें, I want to share it with you. सिमरन, अभी ऐसा है कि मैं ना दोस्तों के साथ बाहर जा रहा हूँ. तुम एक काम करो, तुम सो जाओ, एंड मैं बाहर जाता हूँ, मूवी देख के आता हूँ, बाद में बात करें. Now, not understanding your partner's needs at the given time, you know, when they are really calling in for you to check in with their emotional needs, they are basically asking you a question, will you be there for me when I need you? And such emotional calls are made very frequently on a day-to-day basis between couples. Long distance relationship में ये और भी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हो जाता है that one person has to make extra effort to emotionally validate their partners and be available for their partners in time of their needs. बहुत छोटी छोटी चीज़ें होती हैं which a person can do to be emotionally available for their partners. So that may also include, for example, if two parties have set a time for video call, both the partners should make it a priority over other tasks. It should not be like, oh, now I have a meeting come up, and or maybe, you know, now I have friends calling me, or I have a night over with my friends and I'll not be able to catch up with you. So when you make your partner a priority for those little events, for those little things, that indicates that the person is being emotionally available. A lot of proactive efforts have to be made by the partners to ensure that kind of emotional availability for each other. And it can include making small proactive efforts, asking them through a text maybe how their day is going, and last but not the least, you know, it's about how you weave in your partner's needs in your daily schedule. So This is going to help you cultivate intimacy in your relationship and strengthen the bond. And last but not the least, because long distance relationships are not easy, they do tend to add on to your stress. There are a lot of online communities, groups and support groups that are available for people who are struggling with this. And other than that, you have mental health professionals to speak to whenever you're facing these issues in your relationships, and maybe if the stress is also getting you overwhelmed by these issues. Vedantika, would you like to add something?
Yeah, so when we're talking about expectations in a relationship, it does not mean that someone's being greedy, one of the partners or whoever is being greedy. It's about the fact that when you're in a relationship, you expect to be taken care of, you expect to feel loved and secure, and that's just a very normal aspect in any romantic relationship.
Yes, and just adding to that is when there is jealousy or feelings of insecurity that do crop up in one of the partners, then giving each other verbal assurances reduces the negative feelings and thoughts that one of the parties may be experiencing. Hence, giving reassurance to your partner, checking in with them, telling them that everything is going to be alright and I still have strong feelings for you, or expressing them I love you. All these little gestures help people strengthen their bonds.
So if anyone has any questions, we will be here and we'll be very happy to answer them.
So if anyone is going through a long distance relationship, or you do know of anyone who's going through a long distance relationship, you can give them the advice or share these tips with them. So one of our viewers have asked a question: how do you make your partner feel financially secure? As Vedantika already discussed, that financial insecurity may crop up due to multiple reasons. It may come up because one of the partners is earning more, and most of the times it is being noticed that it is quite a gender specific financial insecurity. So it is understood that sometimes, and most of the times, it would be a male partner who would be financially insecure if the female partner is earning more than them. If that is the case, then we would, because I need to probe more, it would be very important if the person can reach out to the mental health therapist, because it is a lot more to do about the other party. And maybe as an individual, as a partner, you can sit down with your partner and address this concern with them. What about it makes them feel insecure? If you are earning more than them, then what is it that they feel about it? Is it the feelings that, oh, you are doing better than me and I am the one who's supposed to be doing better? Or do they feel competitive? And of course, you will need to reassure them that you earning more than them or you being in a better position than them is not about them. There's no competition in a relationship. In a relationship, both the partners grow together, and that is what a healthy relationship is about. So another viewer has asked the question: I feel my partner is cheating on me. Should I leave him, or is it being insecure? Well, I would request you to first of all notice your partner's pattern in more detail. Has they always been like that, or is it now that because there is a long distance relationship and due to the unavailability and lack of time that you both are spending, your insecurities are cropping up? And if that is the case, that whether it is insecurity or whether they really are cheating, which we do not know because we cannot jump to conclusions without any supporting evidence. Therefore, I would strongly suggest that you can take help from a mental health professional to work on your own insecurities. If that is the case, how you can address this with your partner, how it is affecting you. However, leaving him or leaving him is not something that I can recommend on this platform.
Yes, we know.
If there are any other questions, we would request our viewers to do throw them at us so we can quickly answer. One of our viewers has asked how to deal with insecurities in relationship. Yes, I've already answered that question. However, for you, I'll summarize it once again. So, communication is the key to overcome insecurities in the relationship. Whether it is regular relationship or it is a long distance relationship, irrespective of that, the more you're able to express yourself to your partner, the more both the partners are able to understand each other better. That is what helps people overcome insecurities. Time and again, we all need reassurances from our partners. We all need our emotions to be validated by our partners. When you get this feeling from the words that your partner is using, that I understand you, I am there for you, I know what you're going through, or I do understand what you're trying to say, without being defensive, without making it about themselves, that is a lot of emotional validation that a partner can give to their other partner. And like I said, do not jump to conclusions, look for supporting evidence. Patience is something that is greatly required, not only generally in relationships, but also in long distance relationships. So, while relationships have their own set of challenges, in long distance relationships, you automatically assume that those challenges are going to be, intensifying or double up in their number, or at least the intensity. I hope that helps. So I think one of the viewers is trying to ask, how do I deal with constant feeling if my partner is cheating? Is my partner cheating? I think that's what you're trying to ask, that if you get a feeling that your partner is cheating on you and you're getting that feeling continuously, then that's how something that you're concerned about how to deal with it. So see, first of all, if the thought is so recurring, if the concern is so recurring that it's distressing for you, so the first thing that you need to do is calm yourself down, take a break. You need to relax first thing. So you need to engage in self-care, in self-compassion before you start working through it. Then the second point is that if these thoughts continue to run or disturb you, then you need to look for evidence. What is it that's making you feel this way? And last but not the least, you need to express to your partner what are his behaviors. Maybe he's not taking your calls continuously. Maybe he's like, we do understand people are busy and they may take time to get back to you, but maybe your partner is promising that I'll get back to you and he or she is not getting back to you eventually. Of course, these kind of behaviors do tend to build mistrust in a relationship. So if these behaviors have been noted in your partner, you need to address them with your partner. And hopefully if he understands and if this relationship is really strong enough, he'll make the changes, he'll work through his ways and things may be better for you. And if nothing works out and it still doesn't help and the thoughts are recurring, then yes, a mental health professional is needed for you. So that's all for today. Thank you all for your time and for the views. Please do follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Do like, subscribe and leave your comments. We'd appreciate that. And we'll see you next week for our next episode on relationships.
Thank you for having us.
of the viewer has made something about trust. So trust is something that is not there by default. Trust is something that has to be worked for. There is a lot of effort that needs to be put in, and that is how trust develops, and then you have to make a continuous effort to sustain that trust. And in relationships, it is very little things that break the trust of the partners.